I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no given. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused on dangerous, they don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house. And woo. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo.
It's time! Welcome to DFS by the Numbers with your host, Brady.
Better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to UFC Vegas 65 Best Bet. Going a little bit early here today. I will be heading to Detroit for the Bills-Browns game. So I'm going to be heading there today in about 20 minutes. So going to be a quickish show. But I did want to come on here and give my best bets for the card. Not my favorite card in the world, a card that I don't have a ton of action in. But let's see if we can find some spots. It's going to be a good one. So I will be missing the first probably 5-6-ish fights. But I don't have any bets until the main card. So I say we get into it. Before we do, if you guys can please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And we have a week off next week, and then we'll be back with a very good UFC Orlando card and then a UFC 282 card. And just hoping to finish the year strong. 3 good cards at the end of the year. And we got this one today. So, Natalia Silva going against Teresa Bleda. My best bet here is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. They had the under 2.5 on BetOnline open up at plus 250, went to plus 201. I thought that was pretty interesting, but I could see a path to finish for either side here. Bleda very dangerous on top. Silva, very dangerous striker as well. I would look at the fight doesn't go to decision, if anything. From a money line perspective, it is probably dog or pass, but I don't know. I mean, money's been pouring in on Bleda all week, and now you can get Silva at minus 155. Even then, I'm not too excited about it. But yeah, my best bet for this fight will indeed be that fight doesn't go to decision. Plus money, the only thing really sticking out there at plus 155. All right, we'll move on. We have Brady Hiestand going against Fernie Garcia. So I think the best bet for this fight is if you have the props on BetOnline, they have the over 3.5 takedowns at a pick'em. I think that's the way to go. But if not, I think I would have to lean with the Brady Hiestand money line. It has gotten bet throughout the week, but I do like this matchup for him. I think he's going to be able to take down Fernie at will. I think Fernie will be able to get up, but Brady has solid cardio, solid game plan. I think he goes in there and just rinse and repeats takedowns for 15 minutes. Could get a little greasy at times, but I do think Brady gets it done. Don't really like any props, any fight goes or fight doesn't go. I could see it finishing. I could see it going to decision. I guess I do lean the decision route, but just give me the Brady money line sitting there around minus 172 on FanDuel Sportsbook, minus 170 on Caesars. I know Brady's a very popular play this week, and I totally get it. What is up? I see you guys in the chat. Just quickly running through this. I'm in a pretty big hurry. Tried to get up earlier, but was not able to do so. But we have Maria Oliveira going against Vanessa Demopoulos. And I like the Demopoulos sub as a little bit of a poke here. FanDuel Sportsbook opened it up at plus 440. It is now sitting at plus 330. You got a plus 360 on Bet Rivers. That would be my look there. The reason I'm not getting to the window on this one, though, is because Demopoulos, obviously the wrestling is not good. 7% takedown accuracy. But if she does get the fight down to the mat, it could only take one takedown here for that submission. Oliveira has been subbed once or twice. So I don't hate that Demopoulos by submission prop. One thing I was looking at earlier in the week was maybe the Demopoulos finish only, but they're on that and more. It's minus 280, which is kind of ridiculous. So not touching that. But yeah, the Demopoulos sub, if anything, on this one. All right, moving on. We have Ricky Turcios going against Kevin Natividad. Yeah, it's gonna be the Ricky Turcios money line here, minus 155. It's something I've been kind of tempted on all week. Went to minus 165, went back up to minus 155 there on DraftKings. But yeah, I think it's a good bounce back spot. I think it's a clear recency bias spot where Turcios disappointed a lot of people last time out. Had a horrible performance, but I went and watched every other fight, and that just wasn't the case. He's not hitting air that bad. But the Zabi fight was a very bad look. The only reason I can't really get to the window on this one is I just don't know if I can trust the guy. I think the guy's kind of a nutcase. I was listening to his interviews. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? So I don't know if I can trust him. But yeah, this should be a winnable fight. I think Kevin Nativity might come in here and try to mix in takedowns. Nativity does have that wrestling background, but Turcios, great scrambling ability, great get-up game. And on the feet, I do think Turcios should have the advantage. So give me Turcios money line, but it's not something I'm extremely happy about. All right. Let us move on. We got Vince Moraes going against Miles Johns. This is another one where I like the favorite. I just don't know if I can trust him at this price tag, but my best bet is going to be Miles Johns here at minus 170. I don't like the short notice aspect of things, but I think it's a very winnable matchup for him. I think the leg kicks will be there all day. Vince Moraes has not been able to figure out the leg kick situation his entire career. So the leg kicks will be there. And then takedowns will be there. I mean, Moraes has a less than a 50% takedown defense. I think Miles Johns would be wise to go back to the takedown route here and just take him down whenever he wants, mixing in these takedowns. So it'd be Miles Johns again, but minus 170. I don't know if I can trust the dude at this price tag, but that would be the only thing that really sticks out on this fight here. Jennifer Maia going against Marina Moraes. I think the split is very live here. The split decision is, what is it? Plus 350, I think it was. Yeah, split decision plus 350. I think it goes to decision. It's actually the most heavily favored fight to go to decision by a mile. At minus 360, minus 300, minus 325 for the fight to go to decision. I think it's going to be close. Jennifer Maia, she's a tough fighter. All of her fights are pretty much close. And if Jennifer Maia was to wrestle here for the first time ever, I think it's a very winnable fight for her. But, Jennifer Maia, probably some of the most frustrating fight IQ in the UFC. She has this great ground game, but she never goes to it. Close fight, split decision, plus 350 in a fight that's minus 300 to go to decision. I think the split is definitely a look there. All right, we'll keep moving on here. Charles Johnson going against Augustin Magulov, and right back to the split. Split decision is plus 425. It actually got better. It went from plus 400 to plus 425, which is interesting because Zagas goes to very close decisions in pretty much every fight. Like even outside the UFC, he's going to very close decisions. And I think this could be a close fight. I do give Charles Johnson the striking advantage, but, Zagas does throw us some power on the feet. And then Zagas can mix in takedowns. Zagas can, push Johnson and hold him against the cage as well. I think this can be a very, very close and competitive fight. A fight that can really go either way. I would not be laying minus 170, minus 180 on Charles Johnson. Absolutely not. But I think the fight does go to decision. It is heavily favored to do so. And I think it's close like most Augustin Magulov fights are. So give me the split plus 425 now on DraftKings Sportsbook. I do want to shout out the chat. Thank you guys for showing up. Did kind of go a little bit earlier than anticipated today. But appreciate all you guys. 302, we got Nick, we got Laura, we got Thomas, Gregory, we got Gutierrez. Appreciate you all hanging out. If you have not already, please be sure to leave a like. If you're watching on the replay, leave a like as well. All right. Moving on, we got Jack Della Maddalena going against Danny Roberts. There's actually a lot of spots that stick out here, but they're just extremely juiced. Like the fight doesn't go to decision, minus 325. I think that's a good parlay piece. I thought Jack was a great parlay piece, like at minus 400, and he's now minus 700, minus 600. What I'll give out right now is going to be the Jack Della Maddalena by knockout. You can't really give out the inside the distance. It's like minus 245. Just all these lines are just been smashed all week, and rightfully so. Jack Della Maddalena by knockout is minus 180 still on FanDuel Sportsbook. I think that's where I would play it if I had to play something at this moment. But I do have Jack in a parlay. I do have the fight doesn't go to decision in a parlay. Danny Roberts, I really question the durability, question the chin. And Jack Della Maddalena hits very, very hard, lots of volume. Just hard to see Danny Roberts surviving across 3 rounds. So I like Jack Della Maddalena, and I'll like him to win by KO for the best bet there. All right, moving on. We have Andre Fialo going against Muslim Salakov. Yeah, the best bet for me is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision there, minus 175. I think both fighters are live for a knockout. Salakov, very, very hard hitting. 38 years old, getting up there in age. Fialo, very hard hitting himself, can knock somebody out, and then also very defensively irresponsible. I think somebody gets knocked out here. Really like that fight. Doesn't go minus 175. Got a minus 152 there on Bet365. Yeah, next we have Chase Sherman, Waldo Cortez Acosta. My best bet is, believe it or not, it's Chase Sherman. I mean, this line doesn't make a ton of sense. I kind of think that Sherman might be coming in here injured, or I must be like completely missing something. I see this as a 50-50 fight. I think Chase Sherman's very bad, but is he plus 205 bad? No, I don't think so. Best bet, Chase Sherman. I actually have a bet on the Sherman scorecards, no action at plus 250. Let's see where that's at now. I think I saw it at plus 260 on FanDuel. It's plus 180 now, but I think FanDuel still has it at that plus 260 if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a good look because if it does go to the scorecards, you get your money back, and Chase Sherman is like 1-4 in decision. So I like the scorecards, no action on FanDuel plus 260, and then the Chase Sherman money line plus 2. It just doesn't make a ton of sense at all. I think people are just trying to fade Chase Sherman, but like I always say, don't try to fade a bad fighter with a bad fighter, especially laying minus 260. I mean, it's not most it's not the smartest thing in the world. All right, co-main event on Kudalaba, Kennedy and Zachukwu. I like Kudalaba here, and I did put a little sprinkle on the Kudalaba first round knockout prop at plus 800. It is plus, I think, 650 now. I think that's how I would attack this fight. Looks like plus 600. So Kudalaba wins by round one knockout, or if you like Kennedy, which a lot of people do, kind of on an island on this one, but I would just live bet him. I mean, just laying minus 170 right now just wouldn't make a ton of sense because he's going to lose the first round. The guy is the Homer Simpson of the light heavyweight division. He's going to take an absolute beating here, especially against Ion Kudalaba. And if he does survive, he should be a dog or probably a pick 'em going into the second round there. So I would look to live bet Kennedy. It's actually something I'm looking to do myself because he's a slow starter. Kudalaba is typically a fast starter. So give me the live bet on Kennedy, but I don't mind like a Kudalaba knockout first round sprinkle, Kudalaba first round sprinkle, stuff like that. And then the main event, Derrick Lewis, Sergey Spivak. Not much sticking out here outside of the under 3.5. On DraftKings, it was like minus 385, and I did parlay that with two other things in the card. So that's a big parlay piece for me, is the under 3.5. It's like minus 400 on most books, but I think DraftKings might still have it at the minus 385. So I'll just say the under 3.5 as a parlay piece. I'd be very shocked if this fight, A, went that far, or B, went the distance especially. I mean, the fight doesn't go to decisions, like minus 950, minus 850. Don't really have a strong lean on who's going to win this fight. I think Spivak should win the fight, but you can't be confident in Derrick Lewis fights ever. Derrick Lewis is always in a fight against anybody, and Spivak has been knocked out several times. So, I don't mind the under 3.5 as a parlay piece. What is Lewis by KO? See, they're onto it. I mean, they are onto it. You're not getting much better than the money line there, but give me the under 3.5, if anything, in this fight at this point. I think it's a good parlay piece. All right, so that is the best bets for the card. Keeping it light this week for me, short and sweet. I don't have a bet on the prelims, but I do have 5 bets on the main card. A couple parlays. I like the under 3.5 in the Spivak fight. I like the fight doesn't go in the Jack fight. I like Jack as a parlay piece. I like the fight doesn't go in the Fialo fight. And don't mind some sprinkles on Sherman props and Kudalaba props as well. So sorry for the short show, but it is what it is. I had to get out of here. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Best of luck for UFC Vegas 65. See you later.